jamming out. That's loud. Turn that down a bit on my headset. Transformers. Something devastation. Transformers. Hey, Angtat, how you doing? Were you jamming out the Transformers like I was a few minutes ago? And I was reluctant to start streaming just because I was jamming out the Transformers. Hey, Zuloth. Hey, Angtat, how are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? You guys having a good gosh dang Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. I know. I'm a bit late. I'm one day late. I'm sorry. Hey, Cinnamon. How are you? How's it going? Dream Friday going good? Good. My Friday's going good as well. I had a really weird dream, and it made me exhausted. And then I woke up and took the dog. Well, Jen took the dog out, and then I fed the dog, and then I fed the tortoise, and then I got to work, and now I'm streaming here. So it's a pretty uneventful Friday for me. I'm hoping to make it a little bit more eventful. It wasn't a bad dream. It was... For some reason, my dream took me from having a piece of cheese on my desk, and then all of a sudden there was a centipede on the piece of cheese, and I was like, ew, gross. And then I whapped the centipede off, and this was like a house centipede. They're like the really scary ones that are really fast. And I whapped it off my cheese, and then it went on the floor, and then it grew like this tail, and then it tried to whip me, and then it went away. And then I got transported to Renfest, in which we watched this show in which the king was like, we were like, oh, the king's gonna do something crazy, and he came out, and he was like riding a giant ball and a chair on top, and he was like doing a balancing act, and we're like, the king can't do that, he's old and fat, how is he doing it? And then he fell off, but like bounced back up, and it was like, hello, I'm the king, welcome to Renfest. And then after that, I took off running to find my favorite shop and left everyone behind. I don't know. And then I woke up. It was just really weird, and it left me exhausted. It was also that part of the dream where I was running, and like, I feel like it either goes one way or the other. It's like you try to run and you can't. Or for me, I've recently started having dreams where I'm running and I can't stop. Like I try stopping. Luckily, I was able to stop in this dream for some reason. I don't know. I'm gaining more control over my dreamscapes, I suppose. All right, switching over some music here. Can you guys hear the jams? I'm gonna switch over to some other jams here. I might have to bump these up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Well, this one isn't super jammy yet, but all right. Well, let's get started. It's past. I'm past my prime. My Optimus Prime.
Every prime, man.
High technical difficulties. You needed more coffee? I just poured the rest of my coffee, so I'm good to go. Haha. I'll make more later. Everybody say bye to technical difficulties. She's over in the corner. You can't see her. The disembodied hand that... Hi, technical difficulties! Alright, so let's get started. Welcome to the Lunchtime Let's Draw stream. We were supposed to have it yesterday, but our AC guy came. His window was 9 to 12, and he came at like 11:30. So you know how that goes. Bye, technical difficulties. So today we're going to be drawing things related to our Lunchtime Let's Play stream that happened on Tuesday. Oh, and by the way, my name is Paul. I'm an artist from Houston, Texas. I'm an artist, but I'm also a gamer. And as we decided on Tuesday, if you're a gamer, it's pretty much synonymous with a loser. So I suppose gamer, you can't really win when you're a gamer, except at video games. Everything else, you just give up hope. So we're gamers, we're losers, and we're gonna draw some stuff from what we were doing on Tuesday. And what were we doing on Tuesday? Well, funnily enough, there wasn't too much exciting that actually happened in the game, but chat got on a tangent talking about Elcor, and I think Cinnamon suggested drawing CDI Link, and I thought that was just the way it's gonna go down today. We're gonna be drawing an interaction between CDI Link and everyone's favorite Mass Effect alien. Although, so calling them alien, I need your guys' opinion on this. I need chat's opinion on this. In like a sci-fi universe, they're not really even aliens anymore, because like they're part of the society, so you can't even call them aliens. I guess you could call them aliens from like a human perspective, but even then, like, we're also alien if you're going to think about it like that. Like if a human is like humans in Mass Effect were aliens to all the other species that were part of the society. Yeah, it depends on your definition. So like extraterrestrial would probably be more apt. Yeah. Well, yeah, like how would you categorize? Because like Mass Effect breaks them up into species, right? Or races. I guess like race is not. I guess saying like an Elcor is a race would probably be more appropriate. I don't know. I've never really had like a. I've never really found much in terms of like this is how the general guidelines for like referring to different beings in a sci-fi galaxy are. It's kind of like in context to what the story is anyway. So yeah, I mean, I think race is the best thing. Sorry, it just had my human prejudice and precognition of what an Elcor person is that can't express emotion except by words. So that's my prejudice. I'm working on it. That's my privilege. Can you see the same, that you're working on your privileges and becoming a better person? I hope so, because everyone should do that. So, let's get started. We got some jams going. By the way, the jams today. So we were listening to some Transformers before the stream started, but the jams today specifically come from the CDI Zelda games. I didn't pull in Zelda's Avenger though, because I don't think the soundtrack for that one was very good. But the soundtrack for Wanda Gamelon, which is the Zelda, like you play as Zelda, and then the Faces of Evil, which is Link's game. Those soundtracks are awesome. I don't know if anyone's actually listened to them. Like, the game sucks. The game is abysmal. The animation's something from hell. But the soundtracks are awesome. And I actually looked up, because I went back and watched... Yeah, I was just like you, Cinema. I went back and watched, some Wanda Gamelon stuff and Faces of Evil stuff. And I was like... Someone had mentioned in their video, they were like, they did some research because they were like just straight up curious about how these projects even came to be. The general I guess most one-on part of it is for if you didn't know, the CDI Zelda games came to fruition, I suppose, as a result of a agreement/disagreement between Sony and Nintendo. Sony came to Nintendo and was like, hey, we want to develop a CD-ROM add-on for Super Nintendo, kind of like how Sega CD ultimately had one. And so Nintendo was like, okay, well, yeah, we'll work with you on developing something. And I guess at some point they were like, you know what, we're gonna not pursue this anymore. Sony was kind of mad, and then Sony went to Philips to develop. Did they go to Philips? I think as a result of the agreement, like Philips obtained the rights to Zelda stuff and other Nintendo IPs like Mario, which is like Mario is Missing, I think, is another CDI game. And so Philips had these IPs, and they're like, hey, we still want to, like, we're in the middle of building something, so, like, you know. And I was like, okay, well, I guess. I mean, you know, part of our agreement was that Hotel Mario, that's right, was the CDI game. And part of the it was a Philips got the rights to Zelda and Mario IPs as a result of them splitting, of Nintendo being like, we don't want to pursue this anymore. Like, that was the result. They like got them as a result of that agreement to not pursue the SNES CD add-on. And so they went ahead and started developing these games for the Philips CDI, while Sony was mad and we're just going to make the PlayStation. Like, forget you, Nintendo, we're just going to make the PlayStation. Because it was going to be called the Super Nintendo PlayStation, or the Nintendo PlayStation or something. It's actually even more dramatic than that, says Cinnamon. Sony and Nintendo were partners when Nintendo wanted to pull out because they didn't want to share control with Sony. But instead of telling Sony straight up, Nintendo held a press conference that announced a partnership with Philips without telling Sony they were going to do that. And Sony was pissed and decided to pursue their own game system. I didn't know that they did it, like, behind their backs. That's new. I didn't know that they did it behind their. I thought everything was kind of like. I was under the impression that things just kind of fell apart agreement-wise, and then Sony was just like, whatever, we'll just do our own thing. That's crazy that they did it behind their backs. Nintendo, for as like cool as Nintendo is, like they still have some crazy stuff, for sure. So that was Cinnamon was right. That was kind of the part that I was missing. In Trogdor, you were saying, from what I understand, the Sony Nintendo partnership fell apart because of creative control. Games developed for the CD add-on were more under Sony's control, and Nintendo wasn't going to have it. Ah, okay. Well, that actually makes. Now I see, because Nintendo is so protective of their IPs. Yeah. And so, I guess Sony wanted to make games for it, and Nintendo was like, no, we're going to make the games for it. It was a crazy, like, it's such a cool story, not only, I feel like not only from like a video game history standpoint, but from a, like, just a business, like, standpoint. Like, it's such an interesting thing to study, like, and the story is so cool, like, like, doing stuff behind their backs to developing this atrocious game, or game series, like, it's nuts. But anyway, what I was gonna say was the animation it's CDI Zelda is notorious for its animation. So I'm gonna pull up some images just to show you guys CDI Zelda, not CI Zelda, CDI Zelda. Ew. I don't know why that's a thing. Don't Google. Don't go down to like the 12 Google things. Number 12 in the Google Images. G. Will this pop up? Where's Google? There it is. All right, so here's. We're gonna watch some stuff today. So I'm gonna full screen it. I'll full screen it.
Around here.
Gee.
Boy, this piece is what all true warriors strive for.
I just wonder what Ganon's up to. Your Majesty.
Your Majesty
Have seized the island
of Korodai. Hmm.
We help.
I need to
It is
resize this.
written, only Link can defeat Ganon. Great, I'll grab my stuff. There is no time. Your sword is enough.
All right, ready, everybody?
How about a kiss?
For luck.
You've got
To be kidding.
Squad-
Squadala! Squadala, everybody!
Heads. These are the faces of evil. You must conquer each. I guess I'd better get going. Here is
The map.
Where
Do you wish to go?
Join me, Link, and I will
You'll face the greatest in Koyodai, or else you will die. Oh my god, I can't stop. This is great. Can we just watch this? I don't even want to draw anymore. Let's just watch some of this.
Why'd you do that?
I just saved you from Ganon.
You did not!
Well done, Link.
Like, come on, Zelda! Like, jeez! Hang on, we're gonna watch that again.
Why'd you do that?
I just saved you from Ganon.
You did not.
I just saved you from Ganon! You did not. Oh my god, it's so good. I can just watch these all day. Kaboom!
He's dead. Let's get out of here.
He's dead. Let's get out of here. Oh my god. Freaking love this. I think I said it last time. There's a scene where Zelda kills a boss, and she goes, the boss like deflates or something. It's like, "Oh, you killed me!" And it like pans to her, and she's like, "Good." I don't want to spend the time to look. I want to see if I can find it real quick. Hang on. You killed me. Good. Here it is. I'll even turn it up. I'll turn the. All right, turn the jams off for a second. We gotta turn this up. This is my favorite scene in all of Zelda CDI. I'm gonna turn it up.
Cutscenes.
You've killed me.
Good.
Hang on, we gotta watch it again.
Cutscenes.
You've killed me.
Good.
Good. It's so good. I love it so much. Oh my god. Good. Oh. Anyway, so what I wanted to get to was that so everything about this game is just incredible to read on, but the soundtrack is jamming, man. Like I wanted to throw the names out there because it was cool. Let's see, I saw it on, yeah, here we go. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? No, I thought I saw somewhere. So the Russian, or the animation was led by a Russian group of guys. Like, I don't even know if they were a part of a studio or anything. It was just some guys. Igor Razbov was the lead animator for those scenes. And then the soundtrack. Where did I see the soundtrack? Don't remember where I saw. Is it down here? Oh yeah, Tony Trippy and William Havlicek. Like, I don't even know what they're. I don't even know. Yes, I know what a composer is. Thanks. I don't know if they've ever worked on any other projects, but like, if you're gonna have one thing come from this and have a jamming soundtrack, like, good on them, for real. Yeah. Anyway, the development of these games is so nuts and so interesting to me. And that kind of leads us into what we're going to do. Let's get this over here. And that is, we're drawing Elcors and we're drawing Link. Stinky Link this time. Very, very stinky Link. There's such disdain in her voice. Good. Do it. Good. Order 66. Good. There needs to be a name that refers to this particular incarnation of Link. Yeah, because like I know most people just call it CDI Link. And like that's not. I mean, yeah, but like that's hard to say, you know. I've always just heard of him being called CDI Link. Like that's like kind of the fastest reference. That one should. That man is the embodiment of stink. Like, that's what it should be. That's stink. So, I already did a little bit of a initial sketch. We're gonna not do a super detailed one, I think, for this time. Because, like, you know, the Russians didn't spend that much time. They probably spent... The Russian animators probably spent a lot of time doing those scenes. Because there's a lot of scenes. Like... For how bad they are, like, they packed a lot of animation, like, into that game. Which is... It's also baffling. Everything is baffling about that game. So we got a little Elcor buddy. We were talking about the Elcor in our Let's Play stream on Tuesday. I don't know. I don't remember how we got onto the topic of the Elcor. I just remember we got on it. We were talking about the Elcor movie, the buddy cop Elcor movie. I remember we were talking about that, and everyone loves Elcor. Elcor are the best alien, unless you're a lame old Hanar stan. If you stan Hanar, get out. Banned. Hanar are arrogant. They think they're so good. That Order 66 made Palpatine sound like a short order cook. I'll have Order 66 without the cheese. I am lactose. I'm I'll have dark side. I mean, dark meat chicken. Like he's still trying to hide the fact that he's Emperor Palpatine. I mean, excuse me. Can I use how's your meal, sir? Good. walks up to the order. Have you heard this? Have you heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Sir, I just want to know if you want fries. You said Darth Plagueis the Wise. That's what I heard. That voice is so much fun to do. Sir, would you like a table or booth? I am the Senate. Sir. He just ordered cottage cheese with pepper. But he's a good tipper. Someone needs to make a Papa Palpatine series where he raises the offspring. Yeah, he apparently had them. So, like, what the heck? I could have... So, I don't remember exactly how, like, the origin behind how he became Darth Sidious occurred. I don't know that origin story. So, like, if there was ever like a time when, like, if he acted as a Chancellor before becoming Darth Sidious, and then, like, he had children as a result, like, before that, I can understand. But, like, what the heck is him having offspring that he doesn't just, like, mold into being Darth Sidious too? Darth Tudious. Elcor are so buff. They're like the buffest. Disney did plug the plot hole. His son was a failed clone. What? So his son, his son was the one that bore Rey? Is that how that's... so... You're right, they did do that on Fortnite and Tat. Apparently it was in the novelization of Rise of the Skywalker. I don't... Okay, if you're gonna discredit all the Legends series, I'm discrediting the Rise of Skywalker novelization. No. There was there were so many. I went down a rabbit hole of plot holes for that movie. Just from like a visual standpoint, there were so many interesting plot holes that people were pointing out down this crazy Reddit thread that I stumbled upon, and it was my favorite one was the whole like Rey going into the Emperor's Star Destroyer to find the holocron or whatever she had found or tried to find. And people were pointing out, like, in the Emperor's throne room, there isn't a door where she found a door. Like, it wouldn't be possible to have a door where she found it. A. B. When she was trying to get to the tower that had the throne room, like, you literally saw, on the horizon, you saw the tower, and it was at a 45-degree angle, sticking up like this. Except the scene where she's going to the door, she's like straight up. She's fine. It's like you can't. You can't even get the visuals correct. How do we expect you to get the story right? Can we decanonize Attack of the Clones while we're at it? Didn't you guys watch Attack of the Clones recently? As long as we get to keep the Clone Wars series. Yes. 100%. Clone Wars series is my personal favorite Star Wars thing that has happened. Like, so my history with Star Wars. So my brother was super big into Star Wars, and when he was younger, he still is. He's still super big into Star Wars. Not so much the new stuff, but like the original trilogy. I don't remember if he was super big even into the episodes 1, 2, and 3. But like he had all the he had the big. I wasn't allowed to touch it because he was like, you're gonna break this. He had the giant AT-AT toy, and I think he had like the full size Millennium Falcon. Like I was not allowed to touch those. And so like I grew up watching, like, you know, almost probably like as soon as I was around like 4-ish. Like I was watching Star Wars, the original trilogy. Because my brother would put them on, and then like I'd be like, ooh, cool, swords and lightsabers and stuff. And so, like, I watched them a lot when I was younger. I don't know what your guys' history with Star Wars is. And so, like I wasn't really like a super big. I enjoyed the movies, but like I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, Star Wars. Like, you know, like I knew it, and then like obviously like my thing was Pokemon when. So like I wasn't like super big into it. I knew what it was, and then even like when like the first episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out, I always want to call them like the first episodes, but it's not technically what you should call them. I was like, oh, these are cool. Like I still wasn't like super big into it, and then I randomly just watched the CGI 3D Clone Wars series, and holy crap, that show expanded so much of the lore. I mean, because I also didn't read the books or anything like that, so like, if you're just talking about the TV or movies or whatever, like that show expanded so much of the lore of Star Wars, and it got me into it. Like I was digging it. So I've seen some of the 2D Clone Wars. I will say, I'll straight up, and you're probably gonna be like, what the heck? So, and you too, Cinnamon and Trogdor. I'm not the biggest fan of the Samurai Jack style animation. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know. You guys are gonna freak out. You guys are gonna report me on Twitch, being like, "How dare you?" But I'm not. I've never really enjoyed that style of animation. That's okay. I'm entitled to my opinion. Your next thing I know you're gonna say is, even if that opinion is wrong. However, we have to ask you to leave this. All right, you want a chair stream? You want Wario to? Here, I'll put Wario. It'll just lead the stream from now on. So, you're gonna dump on the Hotel Transylvania scene? I don't even know what that is. What is the Hotel? Is that movie? Okay, now hang on. So even though I wasn't a fan of Samurai Jack, okay, hang on. What is Hotel Transylvania? What is it? Is it that one movie that came out recently? Yeah, okay. So what is it? Why did you bring this up? What is it? The people are these people that made. Now I'm doing research. You guys are gonna let me finish my. Oh, they're the same director. Ah, I'm so. So I've seen clips of this movie, or this series, or whatever, and I will say I think that because I don't know. I think because it's 3D, that style of animation works better. So you wouldn't call Tartovsky's style pretty, but it lends itself to action very well, and it doesn't distract from the craziness going on. So strongly. So maybe it's just because... Maybe this is the whole reason why I'm, like, not the super biggest fan, because, like, I didn't grow up with Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. Like, the only time I had a chance to watch Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Disney XD, for that matter, was when we went on trips and the hotel had cable, and that was like the only time, because like my family didn't have cable growing up, and so like people would always talk about like SpongeBob and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I knew what SpongeBob was, but like people would talk about episodes and stuff like that. I'm like, I never watched it. I didn't watch the show. I couldn't. And so I think that's why. So like even Clone Wars, the 3D version, sort of has that stretchy I think I especially see it when they're running, when they have the characters run. Like they're so light in their running, you know, and like they don't have like heavy footfalls and stuff. There's not a lot of like, I don't know, like the characters in Clone Wars do not have weight to them in the 3D series, and I think that's one thing that I think. Like, they have more weight than they do with the Samurai Jack style animation. Just because I think because it's in a 3D space that visually kind of just lends itself. You're like, oh, I understand how that is. But, like, I think that's a weird thing that I just, like... I think that I prefer styles in which lend itself to providing characters with more weight on the screen. You know? I don't know. I'm talking pretty much out my butt here because like clearly I'm not an expert on animation, but it's just talking about like what I like visually and what I don't like visually. But going back to like Dexter's Lab and stuff, like I don't know, I like that. I think because it was more cartoony, as like, or like the whole premise was more cartoony, and where like Samurai Jack was like, but I want like where's the like greediness, like the I guess for me the style didn't really match the tone of some of the story stuff, and so maybe that's kind of what threw me off. Dating yourself here, Trogdor, but the big thing when I was a kid was that I didn't get because no cable was the original run of Ren and Stimpy. I'm gonna throw out another controversial thing here. Like I recognize the influence and talent of Ren and Stimpy, but I think Ren and Stimpy is ugly as heck. I hate it. I think it's gross. Ren and Stimpy animation and art style is gross, and I don't like it. But I recognize its influence and its talent. And I know for a fact that there are a lot of... Like, because there's another one that I was just like... I hate everything! I hate everything you love! But yeah, that was the point, is that it was a gross out show. Like, that was the point of the show. Like, its themes, its storyline, like, that was the whole thing. And so, like, and I know that, like, even when, like, like SpongeBob would do like the weird close-ups and stuff. I'm like, ugh. Like, ugh, I don't want to. That's not fun for me. Yeah, nothing has come close. Like those, well, like like you had Beavis and Butthead, and you had Ren and Stimpy, and like what else? There was another show that was old and like Real Monsters. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like that show was gross. Like those shows were gross. I didn't like watching them. They weren't pleasant to watch. They made my eyeballs hurt. That show scared you. And yeah, so I was actually going to ask, because I know that you, Trogdor, and Cinnamon are a little bit older than us in terms of like when those shows came out. Like they may, I don't know if like, because I feel like Ren and Stimpy was very much like a teen and young adult and even like adult like targeted show. So like a kid would be like, ew, this is, oh, unless you're like, oh, I'm cool and I like gross stuff. Like I wonder if just because like I wasn't old enough, so Ren and Stimpy just went over my head in terms of what the show was supposed to be. I'm sure that if I went back and watched Ren and Stimpy, like I'd probably love it. Yeah, it was marketed. I do remember that it was marketed to kids. But I think just like how Animaniacs was like, oh, it's kids, but like if you go back and watch Animaniacs, like there's like sex jokes every 10 minutes. And there's like political jokes, there's like writer strike jokes, like there's film industry jokes. Like I think that's something that isn't a thing anymore either. Like the whole like we're gonna make a cartoon and it's gonna be like targeted to kid, like the animation and stuff is gonna be targeted to kids and the general storylines, but like providing something for the parents or the older kids and stuff to get out of. I mean, almost all cartoons until recently were targeted at kids. Tasmania cartoon made recession jokes at one point. Oh yeah, Rocco too, Zuloth. I didn't watch Rocco, but I know Rocco, like, didn't Rocco like work for like a phone sex line at one point? But see, Batman the animated series I loved as a kid. I mean, I still love it too. I still love it now, but like, it had dark themes in it as well. I think that's how those legs go. They got little baby legs. These Elcor do. Brad Bird really hates the idea that cartoons are a children's medium. So what is Brad Bird? I don't recognize the name. What is he did Incredibles, Ratatouille, Iron Giant. What I think that you're seeing, like, you're seeing a new wave of, especially like for things like Netflix and other streaming services, like you're seeing a crazy wave of shows, animated TV shows targeted to adults. Like you have, like you just name some off the bat that I've seen or heard of. Like you have BoJack Horseman. You have Tuca and Birdie, which is freaking amazing. I hate that they canceled Tuca and Birdie. You have what's the Big Head? Is that what it's called? That weird one that's talking about sex all the time. I mean, they all talk about sex all the time, but Big Brain, Big Head, Big Mouth. That's what it's called. like those shows are great. I mean, I haven't seen him in Big Mouth. Big Mouth's also kind of one of those things where I'm like, ew, it's gross. Why does it look so gross? And then like I go over here and watch Tuca and Birdie, and Tuca and Birdie is like, oh, this is so beautiful. Tuca and Birdie is so good. There was a push for more adult-oriented cartoons in the U.S. during the early 80s. Fire and Ice or Wizards, even Disney tried their hand with the Black Cauldron. Black Cauldron is an underrated movie. I think I saw it once. I think we like rented it one time, and I don't remember any of it. But I know that's an underrated movie. I kind of want to go back and watch that. I don't know why I'm focusing on perfecting this little dangly dingly. There it goes. A little dangly dingle. A large portion of the population still thinks that all cartoons are just for kids, even though there's numerous examples of successful mature animation. Yes. I agree 100%. And it's odd because like animation lends itself to being so much more expressive than I mean you can be expressive in, you know, live action shows, but like you could also be more expressive. That's because it's drawings. You can make it however you want. You don't have limits to it. And that kind of, I want to like pull it back. That's the whole thing with like Samurai Jack, and like there's no limits to how crazy action-y you can make this. And that's what makes it so good. To be able to use the action, using animation techniques to express beyond the limits of reality. I think as we go on, I think as our generation, the younger generation, like, I mean, I guess we already seen it because like a lot of people in our generation are already making stuff, really cool stuff. But I think just as society progresses, I think that animation will continue blowing up. That's my prediction. I just think more people would want to be able to express, like the younger people like expressing things, and I don't know if animation is a vehicle to being able to express greater than what reality can provide, then I think that will, I don't know, just philosophy. Don't talk to me about philosophy. I can barely express my own emotions. Oh, we didn't ask what people were having for lunch. What the heck are you guys having for lunch? The lunch hour is almost up. What are you guys having for lunch? You guys better eat. You gotta keep your strength up. You gotta ward off the horrors of Zelda CDI. Just remember, eggs get you banned. Leftover fajitas. So here's the thing. So we all know that Elcor can't express emotion. But boy, oh boy, is this guy gonna be terrified. He's so skilled. Just go for a second. I thought I was gonna give him chibi eyes. Little chibi baby boy. Lightly charred dongos. I'm so hungry. I could eat an octorok. Leftover potato casserole? What are you having leftovers for? What the heck? It's like your guys are stuck inside and can't go out to eat or anything. Shh. Shh. Losers. It was really weird that looking at the references for Zelda CDI, Link, weird, like, the fingers are, like, wavy and gross. It's unsettling. Much like this part of the soundtrack. Oh, they're so gross. It's like, why are you adding fingernails? You don't need to. It's a cartoon. Unless it's like a creepy, you know, monster man. You don't need to add fingernails. I mean, I guess Link himself is a crazy... This Link is 100% a gross monster man. 100%. Oh, gross. He's so gross. It's a good description for that game's art style in general. Wavy and gross. Hey, man. Don't make fun of the Russians that way. I'm gonna get them into it. I'm surprised that this didn't start a second Cold War. Having Russians behind this animation, providing a product to the United States, like, why wasn't this? Why didn't this provoke geopolitical turmoil? I feel like it should have. You had no idea they were Russian? I mean, I didn't know either. I just wanted to do a little bit of research on it, and so I stumbled upon this guy's... I had seen the guy's video before, but I guess I just didn't remember that they were Russian. Yeah, Philips outsourced the heck out of the production of this game. And if you've ever seen any, like, weird, like, Russian cartoons, like, you're like, oh, okay, now I understand. Russians make very strange cartoons. Children's cartoons, specifically. It's hard to make this wavy. Like, I'm so used to just drawing things, like, not Russian. See, man, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but listen to these jams. Listen to these jams. Like, I compliment the heck out of these Russian composers, but not the Russian artists. My art style is not wavy enough or gross enough. We'll have to give them, like, some cysts. Some cysts and pustules. God, could you imagine having this thing look at you? This poor Elcor. this demon spawn from hell. Link's hair needs to look like it's moving through jello. It's so weird. I saw that you had mentioned his like lips too. The lips, man. Those, I think that's the freakiest part. Like the fingernails are weird. The the eyes are weird, but come on, the weird like lips. I think that's why I pulled a light field here and was like, I don't want to draw these lips, so I'm going to cover him up. Then again, I did pull this from the game. This is an actual animation frame from the game where he's like, how about a kiss for luck? And he's like, hee. He's going to kill this Elcor. This Elcor better run. Do I even care? Do I even care about making this, like, proportional? It looks awful. How do I make it look bad good? There we go. That'll be fine. Oh my god, he looks so scary. Why was this a thing that I decided to do? He's gonna get that boy. He's gonna get that boy so hard. One thing that the Russians did do, they closed up all of their edges. Yeah, they were meticulous and consistent. I think we can all hope to be so consistent and detailed as what was his name? Not the composer. What was, I forget. Whatever Russians. I hope that we can all be so consistent and artistic and highly detailed as Stalin. I'm just imagining Stalin making this. Slightly melted cheese is the perfect. That's no, because you had said earlier you were like, wavy and gross is the perfect art style or description for the art style. Melted cheese. That's it. You've coined melted. You wanted a name for the CDI link. Melted link. It's like a punished snake. Melted link. Yeah, only slightly. His brain melted probably a little bit too. I'm so hungry, I could go bomb some Dodongos and Octoroks. My boy. Something. My boy, that boy ain't right. My boy, you ain't right. Oh, it's so scary. Oh, it's so scary. Why is it so scary? Are we on Zelda's Wand of Gamelon songs? Not yet. We're still going through the Faces of Evil. Soundtrack is so good. Don't at me. It's genuinely good. All right. That poor man. This poor man. He's terrified. He's so scared. Oh. Get back up there. Get back up there. The team up we didn't know we needed. Oh, this isn't a team up. This is not a team up at all. This is I don't even know. This is a disaster. He's so scared. Can Elcor even be this scared? He's like kind of sweating a little bit too. Like, I don't really know. Oh, poor baby. Poor baby. Oh, he's gotta like shake it a little bit too. Oh, he's so scared. How is he so scared? His poor. I want to save him now. Oh. Oh my god, I love you guys so much. I love you guys for indulging in my really dumbness. My really dumbness is what you guys are indulging me in. I wrote down. There was something else. Was this supposed to be I was supposed to draw? No. That's not what it was. We're gonna build. I wrote down in my notes. I was like, Wanda Gamelon Link and the Wienermobile Space Shuttle. But that will save. We're not gonna draw that. I kind of want you to draw Link's lips on the outside of his palm, like it. Oh! Ew! Why would you suggest something so so vile? They're like bright red too. They're like this. Oh. Oh. Just like that. Ew. What did that thing with what did Jared Leto have on his is that what it was? It just had like pain written on it. It just what have you wrought? This is you. This is your fault. Alright, we gotta put some Jared Leto. Oh no. No, it wasn't pain. That's not what it was. That's not what it was. Hang on. We gotta make this right. We gotta do this right. Oh no. This is your fault. Let's see. It needs to be. No, it needs to be a little bit more flowery. It'll be tattooed on his hair. There we go. Damaged. Damaged. Perfect. I love it. The Joker, Jared Leto. Oh, why is the Joker so gross? Why is this Joker so gross? I hate it. Look, the Russians can make anything happen. You can tattoo hair. They can... Yeah. In the world of Gamelon, in the realm of Gamelon, all you must do is say Squatala, and the world is your oyster. This was from your guys' imagination. Don't... You can't say anything about it. This is you guys' fault. Yeah, it'll have to be a little off-centered for it to be on his hand. How do you scream when you have no mouth? I have no mouth and I must scream. What else can we put in here? Alright, tell you what. We're gonna... Oh, no, he has a... What is it? Is it a J? Yeah, it is. That's a J. We're gonna... You guys did this, so this is all your fault. There's a little J there. And then we'll even do some of this here. You want to know how I got these scars? All I had to do was bomb some dongos. It needs to be an L. Ah, yeah, it needs to be an L. 100% sure. 100%. I'll go back and change it to an L. You want to know how I got tattooed on my hair? You want to know how I got a kiss from Zelda? I didn't, so I cut my mouth. Oh my gosh, you guys are the worst. This is art. If you ever want to like show people what art is, this is art. It's kind of like, oh, okay, it's just a basic thing. So we'll just do. Better yet. No, we already did the Triforce on our big butt, boy. So there you go. Oh my god, you guys! I can't believe you guys did this. He's beautiful. I will say that's impressive how you were bringing this atrocity to life. Why? Thank you. Why else am I not? Why else am I an artist? If I can't bring atrocities to life, why continue being an artist? Also, he's like super pale. That's not pale enough. Ah! Oops, that's the pattern. I don't want a pattern. The poor Elcor. I feel so bad. Some people just want to watch Paul create an abomination. If that's not the world burning, I don't even know what is. I can't see any of these colors, so I'll have to go back and erase. Listen to these jams, man. These are some Heath Ledger, Jared Leto. Well, no, not Jared Leto. He can go bye-bye. These are some Heath Ledger worthy jams for damaged Link. No more suggestions from you this time. Knowing you, though, you're not gonna... I implore you to try resisting that temptation. I dare you. I will pay you all the money that Trogdor pays into my Patreon account, which is like $1 million, he promised. I'll give you all that money. I dare you to try to resist. In that Patreon account, the one that I totally have set up. Get a little bit of this Joker purple in here. And it matches with our randomizer because Link is purple. See, I knew what I was talking about. I knew what I was doing. Are you guys excited for the new Batman? Speaking of Batman-related items. The playthrough is tainted now. No! The Joker curse. Anything Jared Leto touches On the plus side, the Elcor's reaction is becoming more and more appropriate and relatable. Oh, hey guys, don't forget, by the way, don't forget to find yourself a T-virus distributor and inject that into your skin. It'll get rid of the virus that everyone has right now. You just gotta go find a T-virus. Our dear leader said it would work. I heard him say it. Not funny. I had a zombie nightmare last night. Aw, well, I didn't mean to bring it up. What was it? Was it Walking Dead-esque, or was it Resident Evil-esque? If you get rid of the virus, you mean kill yourself. Unless you can become Nemesis. I mean, you know, there are some upsides to becoming Nemesis. What the heck is this color? Zombie dreams are really scary. So I know that feeling. I've had quite a few. They're scary. I'm sorry for bringing it up, Tet. Did Link fall into a vat of toxic Caesar Romero's? Look at this beauty. I don't think that could be more perfect. I don't think we can perfect art. Ellen hates this so much. You better. Hate is what it all comes full circle. Let the hate flow through you. What color are Elcor? They're like gray. They're just big gray boys. Like kind of like a bluish gray, yeah? Something like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with this over here. I'm not okay with that stuff. Fun fact. I don't know if that's a fun fact. Trogdor. Anyway, Trogdor says, fun fact, the original cure for malaria was to contract syphilis. Guy won a Nobel Prize. It's kind of like that whole like oh man, well we have rats, so let's get a bunch of cats to kill all the mice. Oh man, now a bunch of dogs have come to eat all the cats. Oh no, now all that, like, what is it? It's like I don't know what the term that is, but that's the whole thing about endangered species. The episode of The Simpsons with the lizards. Yep, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, you got COVID? Oh no. Well, just get AIDS. Oh no, now you have AIDS? Well, now you just just contract lupus and that'll fix it. Oh no! Just inject yourself with everything. You won't die. Because especially if you just start drinking bleach, like the president said. You'll be fine. Oh, that's a nice blue color. I can't believe I chose that right off the bat. You can't make me change this blue color because I like it. I might have invalid ideas about Samurai Jack, but my ideas about that I like this color blue is unchangeable. You can't change it. Oh no, you gotta log off! You gotta get back to work, man. You've been goofing off too much. No more goofing. You gotta get back to work. Too much goofing. Thank you for coming out, Cinnamon. Have a good rest of your Friday, and have a good weekend, too, as well. Check. I'll be probably sending you a personalized mail. I'm gonna send you mail. I'm gonna print this out and send you mail of this to remind you. You have to hang it up. Have a good weekend, Cinnamon. Take it easy. Anyway, we're gonna mail this to Cinnamon. Print on canvas, exactly. Big, giant. It's like that whole. Remember that story? Did you guys see that story about the lady who, like, she found this artist to commission a giant cockroach painting? And she hung it up like above her fireplace, and she's like, "I love this. This is the most beautiful thing I own." And it's humongous. You'll tattoo the print on your hair, on your cheese hair. You have to go cheese hair first, though. Bump, 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 bump. Told you, man, this track is awesome. I'll jam out to it even when I'm not on stream. See you later, Cinnamon. Take it easy. Thank you for hanging out. No, thank you for your input on this atrocity to nature. Can we all agree that Cinnamon is probably secretly Darth Sidious? And that's why this is happening? I kind of feel manipulated, in a way. He's also probably manipulating all of chat, too. You've known him for years, and yes, that seems likely. I mean, he manipulates us through D&D. We can't avoid it, though. It's just how it is. I wonder what those Russian animators are doing now. And the musician, for that matter. I wonder if they've perfected their craft. Of crimes against nature. Because that's the only reason, that's the only true description of what you can call CDI animation. Why are elk cores so cute? Could you guys explain that? I don't know, they're just the cutest little baby boys. Sorry, I didn't like how that turned out. I know, they're so good. No, I just, whenever I hear this song, this is the map song from, I think, Wand of Gamelon. I just hear, so Game Grumps did like this, when they were waiting, to start the game, they were chanting to the song. I don't want to say it on stream because it's vulgar, but I can't get it out of my head when I hear this beat, this melody, which I guess are two different things. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with the mouth. I think I was trying to, like, you know what? Tell you what. The lines of the mouth are easy. Like, they're just, like, you know, there. They're just part of their body. I think what I want to do, just to give it a little, like, I wanted to lighten up the mouth. I think what I'll do is soft round, and then we're just gonna, just to give it a little bit of lighting tint. That's what I wanted. I think I was doing it with the hard, it wasn't working with the hard edges, but with the soft edges, it gives the look that I want. Perfect. I mean, well, it's not perfect, but good enough. And we'll go ahead and shade this at a later date for sure. Oh, poor boy, he's so sweaty. He's sweating. He's sweating. Wonder if Elcor can actually sweat. Are there female Elcors? Angtat? Trogdor, do you know? How do Elcor reproduce? Aren't they kind of like cows? And other types of quadrupedal creatures? No idea what Elcor gender is. We're gonna say they're all little cute baby boys. That's what I'm gonna call them. Probably binary since it's Mass Effect. Yeah. They should have just called it binary effect. Mass binary. Underrepresentation. Mass binary. You gotta, all the races, you at least gotta have a sexual relationship with them. You have to have the chance of having a sexual relationship with them. They still did that in Andromeda? Or they didn't do, what did they do it? Like it was like kind of gonna be progressive and then it wasn't. We're the Asari monogender. Travel 9... And the problem with Intrabada. Travel 9 billion miles to find aliens with 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 genders, and butts. Boobs and butts, probably. They go to a new galaxy. Does this alien have a wiener? I'm on board. Yeah, the Asari do break the mold, because they're monogendered. Have you guys watched The Orville? That has a lot of cool explorations of gender and sex stereotypes and like thinking somewhat thinking outside the box. Like it's still kind of within like the realm of Star Trek related thinking. But there's a character on there that he's part of a all male race, and they actually can mate. Like the males can mate together. Which is cool. It's a cool, and like, there's a lot of like there's actually quite a few storylines revolving around that character. It's a really interesting take on the whole like single gendered like like how do you reproduce sort of thing, and they're like, I mean, this is how we do it. Like, well, how is that weird? Why is that weird? It's cool. I suggest watching The Orville if you haven't. It's a good show. And Seth MacFarlane, in my opinion, like, he has done a great job with that show. It's really good. I feel like Seth MacFarlane can kind of be, like, dependent. Like, his movies haven't been super good. But TV shows? Heck yeah. Alright, so we have... It's a show we always really wanted to make. Yeah, you can tell. There's a lot of heart and soul into that show. And it shows. It's really, really good. I recommend that show. For sure. And I think it's only got like 2 seasons. I can't remember if they... I'm hoping that they were going to make more. It kind of wraps up pretty nicely, too. In a way. Yeah, that show has a lot of heart. And I mean, if you like Star Trek, you'll like it. Like, it's so Star Trek-y. It's so Star Trek-y. I don't know why you guys made me draw this. Why did you guys make me draw this? How did this end up being... Do I have to sign this? I don't even know if I want my name on this. I don't know if I want to sign this. I'll do it anyway, just for you guys. Cinnamon did this, not me. Yep, all the blame. I'll 100% give all the blame to him. I don't want to look at this, but I can't take my eyes off. This was supposed to just be Link. 11 out of 10. 5 out of 7. 0 out of 100. A minus. F plus. Oh my god. And now I'm gonna go back and shade these characters for you. And it'll be at the end of the YouTube archive video. Good.
You've killed me.
Good.
God, that heart is terrifying. We're gonna end on this. This is, you guys are gonna have to suffer.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
My boy, this peace is what all true warriors strive for.
I just wonder what Ganon's up to.
I wonder what Ganon's up to.
Y'all.
Your sun has risen. I take Zelda in my power. I shall keep her in my prison.
What is he
You're
doing?
doing great, Link. You're our hero. Here's a life heart. We know you can beat Ganon. You're doing great, Link. You're our hero. Here's some water of life. Drink, Link.
I may be old and ugly, but I still know a few tricks. Bring some grapple berries. I'll show you a good one.
Show me
Stir
the what?
the berry-
Ew.
So, there.
Look how Militron makes his warriors.
Worthless Caridian, you must be hardened with fire. Go and kill.
What?
Feel the fire
He
of
made
war.
life.
Oh my goodness, this is awful.
My hero!
Oh no!
Won't you please jump across that little old chasm and cut my daddy's chains? Pretty please, have a heart.
Please, Link, jump and cut these chains. The Arpagus are driving me crazy. Thanks.
He seems
Say,
so like mellow
You have a
about it.
fire diamond, don't you?
Sure.
Then let me fix your sword. Let's see how it works.
Nintendo approved this.
Wow.
They said this was okay for the sell.
Where are you heading, partner?
I'm going to fight Slutgo.
Don't fight him, feed him! Something spicy. Know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
Through the eye of Glutko lies the shrine of Corridon. Done, Link. Ganon is once
So,
again
Ankta, you said you were
imprisoned.
having zombie
Come.
nightmares?
Look,
you're gonna have
already Corridon
you're
is
gonna have
returning to harmony.
Zelda CDI
The
nightmares
birds
when this
are
is over.
singing. Isn't it
This is
beautiful?
your punishment.
Golly, as it is written, you, Link, are the hero of Corridai. I guess that's worth a kiss, huh? Ha! I won!
I guess that's worth a kiss. Huh, no. You're ugly, and you smell. You smell like cheese.
Zelda, Duke Onkled is under attack by the evil forces of Ganon. I'm
Is
going
that
to
what your hair's
Gamelon
made
to
of?
aid
Cheese?
him.
But father, what if something happens to you?
I'll take the Triforce of
Why does
Courage
it
to
keep
protect
zooming
me.
in and out?
If you don't hear from me in a month,
Why didn't they just...
send Link.
Impa? Don't worry, Zelda. The Triforce of Wisdom
think that's the
promises the
weirdest thing.
king
Like,
will
why does it
safely
keep zooming?
return.
Enough. My ship sails in the morning. I wonder what's for dinner.
Oh boy, I'm so hungry I could eat an Octorok.
1 month
A whole month gone, and still no word. I'm certain he's all right.
Yeah, that old Ganon's no match for the king.
Link, go to Gamelon and find my father.
Great! I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.
Wake up, Impa. We're going to Gamelon.
Yeah, I don't know
All
why
right,
it just
dear.
like...
I'll get the Triforce
It
of
zooms
Wisdom.
in and out. It's really freaky and weird.
Course I'm on your side, but I still have to sell the stuff. Just pick what you want. I'll handle the rubies.
Ah!
Thanks.
Ah! Quit zooming!
Thanks.
Ew.
Star.
Ah!
Greetings, Princess Zelda.
The indignity. Please,
Stop
Your
zooming!
Highness.
I'm not afraid.
Eh! Alright, I'm done. I don't want to watch this anymore. I'm done. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to look at this. This is us. This is all of us right now. This is what you guys have wrought. I think that's going to be the title of the new streams. This is what you have wrought. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to end it there for today. Yeah, you're right. Why does this exist? I want to do like a whole retro. I'm sure that there's a retrospective on YouTube about it. I'm gonna go research that because I want to. I'm very, very curious if there was more to that story than what we know. There has to be. Like, why would Nintendo ever approve something like that? I don't know. I think they were bound to it. I think that their agreement was that they were bound to it, and they're like, crap. Like, fine. Just bury it. Just ET it. Just bury it alive. It surprisingly got really good reviews when it first came out, but I think that they were probably paid off. Also, probably like one guy played it and he was like, "Oh, okay, whatever, Zelda, yeah, whatever, A+, 2+, 8+."
I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.